artists! Good morning to all you lovelies. Today I want to go over how to make a commission queue using Trello. That's the app I use, and it's a great way to link your commissioners to where they can see your progress. It's a great way to keep notes, track your progress, work on projects. It's nice. So they have a desktop app and they have a website as well. I use the mobile and desktop app the most. So what you'll do is you will go to either Trello.com or you'll download the app, and the first thing you're going to do is go to create, and you're going to create a board. And on that board you're going to write commission queue or something that identifies it as your commission queue or list. And you'll have your email connected to it so that you'll get emails and things from it involving, like, if a commissioner comments on something, if you have that option available. I'm just gonna go with the basic blue outline. The colors. I swear I can speak today, you guys. Okay, and then you're going to click create. And so once it opens, the first thing I recommend doing is creating a sort of guide. So a rule book of sorts, so what your labels are going to mean. So labels and info. Oh my goodness. Add list. Actually, we're not going to label that. I'm just going to label it as info. So each of these are different lists, and on side these lists you'll have cards. So this will be your info list. This will be the unpaid list. Oh my goodness, if I can hit the right buttons today. And then here will be paid and queued. You don't have to name them the same things as me. It's just a way to keep track. And then a finished list. This is the layout I recommend. It's what at least works for me. So within info, you'll have a labels, or I will at least. I recommend doing the labels because you can go in and add labels to each of your cards. So you'll see how there's a labels here, and it's got the labels in it. So if I put an unpaid tab in here, so we'll say that this is a project from a client, I can go in and give it a label. And that label will correspond to something on your little rule book here. And there are way more colors than it's showing here. You can, sorry, every time I click something, my touchscreen likes to pop up my keyboard. But you will see all these different colors that you can add and remove. So with each of these, you can edit your labels and say green means in progress. Oh, wrong button. I swear I'm coordinated enough to do a tutorial. I swear it. So you have your in progress, and you'll hit save. And then another one you could have, we'll go with the blue one, edit the blue, and we'll label that as sketch phase. This will let them know what phase they're on. We'll make pink line art, oh my goodness, phase. So you'll have each of these labels that you can mark your commissions with. So unpaid is not started, so we'll say that yellow is not started. So that's how you'll go about with that. And then when it's paid, you can click and drag it. I can't on my touchscreen. You can on your phone or using a desktop mouse. I have a touchscreen Windows tablet. My brain doesn't want to work. And so I can't drag it, but I can click the little edit button right there, and then you can go to move, and it'll have a list. And these are all the lists within your board. So let's move it to paid and queued. Let's say they paid for it. So inside you'll have the details from your notes and all of your notes involving, let's say they wanted a headshot sketch with black and white shading. So you'll put in those details, you'll mark where your references are, and another thing you can do is you can go to attach, choose file, and I'm going to grab a work in progress shot from a different commission, and we're going to use that. And we'll pretend this is the reference. So you can add it in, it'll automatically make it the cover. You can go into cover and you can remove the cover and add it later if you want, or you can keep it in there. It's completely up to you on how you choose to do any of this. But you can come down here and you can edit it, and instead of its name, you can go, oh, maybe if my thing wants to work. There we go. So instead of its name, we'll type reference, and it'll be the reference, or you can type in work in progress 1 or sketch 1, and then eventually it'll add more and more images as you add them. You have a comment section that shows what you're doing and your processes, and anyone else who has access who can comment on here can comment in this section. I will be honest, I don't use that feature, so I'm not quite sure how that one works. I've only shared projects with 2 other people that I've added in here. I don't know how you can open it up publicly to comments, but I'm sure I could figure it out if enough of you ask. I can play around with it and learn a few things. But like I said, I don't usually use that feature. And that's basically the gist and rundown of how to do it. It's super easy. I'm going to move now over to my actual queue. So this is what my current commission queue looks like that I've already built. So I've got my updates and info section is what I'd labeled my beginning, and right here you have all of my labels for everyone to know where their commission is, what progress is on, and then when you click that tab, it'll also have my contact information, where you can, my email, where you can find me on all of my socials, a link to my tip jar and my Patreon. And then underneath it, I highly recommend putting this on here. It's your terms of service. It's such a very important thing to have. It's your do's and don'ts and your how-tos. If you don't know what a terms of service is, I can do another video on how to start that and build that. But it's a basic rule book for your commissioner to read to understand what they're agreeing to and what you're agreeing to do. And then I also have my prices in here as well as a sort of reminder. You can find them on my website. It's better to look on my website because it has my art examples, but if somebody wants a quick reference or they couldn't remember, they liked my art already, they just couldn't remember what my prices were, they can open it up and see all of my current pricings for everything. And then I also have my current commission status, which I don't really put notes in this, I just use it as a label. Currently, I have them listed as closed. I am currently accepting sketch commissions, but I've not updated this. I intend to update this in the next day or 2. I'm just trying to get my commission queue down before Art Fight this year, because I really, really, really enjoy Art Fight, and I want to get that. I want to put my focus there. And then I have my unpaid section. Right now I don't have anything pending for payment, which is super great. All of these are paid for and are in the queue basically. All the in progress ones I'm currently working on. I have started on the mana cards on this one right here. It's on hold, so I've taken the in progress off. I know this one in person, and we're currently putting them on hold. We're figuring things out. There are various reasons I put things on hold. Usually it's by the request of my client. Just like this piece up here is on hold, and so is this one. This is actually a commission my mother is paying me for, and currently it is on hold and not started because we are waiting to get a photo of my grandfather. But we will have that all sorted out, and once that's sorted out, this will be started. So this one up here is in its sketch phase. It needs attention from the client. It needs approval on its sketches. So that's what that signifies. And all of these labels, as I mentioned earlier, are super useful to show what phase you're in. And it helps you and your client stay organized. It's super nice. I have an extra list. Oop, I bumped one of those. I have an extra list right here, and that is for my Patreon account. I currently don't have any patrons, so I don't have anything going into the queue. They have a separate queue because they are a monthly membership that gets a commission every month. It's a sketch commission. I believe it's the tier that has $20 that does that. So that's where they go, and they'll be set up the same way once I get them. Another thing I wanted to show you guys is in this mana cards one. So it says 3 out of 5. This is another way to keep track of very big orders and projects. So I have all of the information that they wanted right around here, the style that they like, what each of the pieces are supposed to be, including little notes that they've added. I have the prices for as a reminder for me and them. So I put these prices in when they are in the unpaid section, and then I just mark it as paid on the side. I don't know why I didn't mark it here, but this one is paid. I might have forgotten. It's a very big order. So usually I'll have a dash and it'll say paid next to the price, but this way I don't forget what I quote my clients. And then you can create, if you go to, where is it? I swear, there it is, checklist. So if you click checklist, you can create a checklist for each of the pieces, and then you can keep track of each phase within that piece. So these ones are done, the ones down here are not. So I need to do the shades and final details on these last two. So everything else is checked off, but I have each of those phases so that I can keep better track. And the checklists are like my best friend. And you don't have to just use the checklist on multiple piece ones. You can also, I use them quite often on large pieces or any piece in general that has a lot. Like this one that's finished is just one piece, but it has multiple shading phases basically. And so it's easier to keep track of that. So that is basically how I've managed my queue. Over here, I do have a finished section, and so all of these will come over to this side. Like I said, you can just click and drag. I can't show you currently because I'm using a touchscreen. But if you can't and you're using a touchscreen like me, you can use the move option, which is still really nice to be able to do that. And so once they're done, I will take the in progress label off and I will move them into my finished section, where if they have a cover image, it is the finished artwork that I have done. Ones that don't, I personally won't put like simple things that they don't want. If my client asks me not to openly share the piece, I won't put it. Even in the queue, I won't. Or if mostly it's all when a client asks me not to share it. So like this one I think I just forgot because I'm pretty sure I've shared this one and he's told me I could share. I just forgot to put it in, and sometimes that will happen, but my client will always see the finished piece. But this is so other people who are looking to commission you can see what you have finished and they can see some of your previous work. It's, again, a great way for your clients to see actual projects you've done, not just your examples, but ones that you've been paid to do. And it's a really good way to keep organized. Again, nobody has to do it this way. There's a million ways to do it. It's just a good template on how to get started on Trello. If that is your preferred, you can, if this method doesn't work for you, that's perfectly fine. I used to write my stuff all out on paper, and that just, it was a mess. I lost lists, it went everywhere. This has been a much better way for me personally to keep track of things. So I hope this tutorial helps, and if you guys have any questions, I hope I can answer them. And if not, we can learn together. Have a wonderful day and enjoy opening up commissions and doing lots and lots of creative works.